The classroom erupted in laughter as a thick stream of black ink dripped down Mia's long, dark hair, staining her white shirt like a cruel splash of mockery. Her head remained bowed, her hands frozen on the desk. The noise seemed to echo in waves around her, every chuckle and whisper slicing deeper than the ink ever could. It had started months ago. Mia was the new girl, quiet, observant, and always seated in the back row. She spoke rarely, kept to herself, and spent lunch breaks sketching in a worn-out notebook. To her classmates, her silence was strange. To the popular girls, especially Brittany and her group, it was a threat they didn't understand. "Freak," Brittany would mutter when Mia walked by. "Creepy little ghost girl." They laughed, mimicking her posture, her quietness, her way of dressing in dull grays and blues. But Mia never reacted. Until today. The ink attack had been planned. Brittany passed a note across the row, nodding at a plastic bottle filled with liquid ink. One of the boys snatched it, tiptoed behind Mia while the teacher's back was turned, and in one swift motion, upended the bottle right over her head. The class gasped. Even those who weren't part of the plan found themselves frozen, unsure if they should laugh or intervene. Mia slowly raised her head. Her hair, drenched in jet black, stuck to her cheeks. She wiped her face with the back of her sleeve, smearing the ink further. Her eyes locked on Brittany's. Without a word, Mia dipped her fingers into the ink coating her hair, rubbed it between her palms like paint, and then smeared it deliberately across her face like war paint. Then, she leaned forward, just enough for Brittany to hear. "Now watch." Silence fell. Brittany's smirk twitched. Something about the way Mia said it, so calm, so certain, unnerved everyone. The teacher returned, confused by the sudden stillness. Mia didn't report anything. She didn't cry. She stood up, gathered her sketchbook, and walked out. That day, she didn't go home. She went to the city gallery. It was where she always went when the world was too loud. Her notebook was filled with portraits, faces twisted with emotion, eyes brimming with pain and hope. But after what happened, her hands didn't hesitate. She painted. Not just sketches. Full canvases. That night, she didn't sleep. She created until her fingers cramped, her arms stained with paint, her heart poured out onto the canvas. Within a week, rumors started to spread. "Did you hear about that street art in the alley downtown? They say some girl painted it in one night. It's beautiful. Intense. You can't look away." The mural was massive, an 8-foot-tall face of a girl with ink dripping down her cheeks, but her eyes were fierce. Defiant. Words painted beneath it read, "I was silent." You mistook that for weakness. Teachers noticed. Local art bloggers wrote about it. One of them tracked the artist down to Mia, recognizing the same signature from a small art competition submission months earlier. The school was buzzing. For once, people didn't see Mia as a quiet nobody, they saw her for who she really was. A force. Brittany scoffed at first. "Who cares? It's just graffiti." But then came the invitation. The City Art Festival. A prestigious youth exhibit. Mia had been selected to showcase her work alongside established artists. Her mural had gone viral. News stations picked it up, calling her the silent brush. Interviews followed. She refused most, but when asked why she painted that mural, she simply said, "Because sometimes, the world doesn't hear you until you paint it loud." Back at school, Brittany tried to act unfazed, but the shift was undeniable. Students who once ignored Mia now watched her with curiosity and admiration. Some even apologized awkwardly, but sincerely. One day, Brittany cornered her by the lockers. "Okay, you've made your point. Congrats or whatever. But just so you know, we were only joking." Mia looked at her, not with anger, but with clarity. "Jokes don't leave scars," she said. "But thanks for the ink. I needed it." She walked away. Mia kept painting. Her next series was about reclaiming pain, transforming it into strength. At the festival, people wept in front of her work. Teachers invited her to speak about resilience. She never talked much, but when she did, her words mattered. In time, she became more than the quiet girl. She became a symbol. For everyone who had ever been laughed at, pushed aside, or silenced, Mia's story was a reminder. You don't have to shout to make noise. Sometimes, the loudest revenge is success. And sometimes, when the world pours ink on you, you turn it into a masterpiece. Message: never underestimate the quiet ones. Behind still waters, there's often a storm of brilliance waiting to rise. Pain can be power, silence can be strength, and even the darkest ink can be used to paint something unforgettable.